Let's power scale the famous Jason Voorhees. Just how powerful is Jason, and what are some of his most formidable feats and strengths? The horror genre has been a beloved staple of cinema for decades, and over the years, several different franchises have produced a wide variety of different terrifying antagonists. But the select few have etched their place into history and have become some of the all-time greats. Firmly on this list as one of the most iconic horror menaces is Jason Voorhees, who oftentimes toes the line between mortal and superhuman. But just how powerful is Jason? Well, today, my friends, let's dive into some of his most impressive accomplishments today. Let's begin with just his raw strength, but it's important to note that all incarnations of Jason will be taken into account, including crossover events in order to find the truest extent of what Jason is really capable of. Starting off, Jason has done a number on the human skeleton on a few different occasions. He has crushed skulls and spines with his bare hands. Not only has he effortlessly killed people in these gruesome ways, but his strength extends to the level where he can only be aptly described as superhuman. In Freddy vs. Jason, he has been shown smashing through a metal door without any signs of significantly struggling, and Jason's primary weapon of choice, the machete, has pierced through heavy metals. If we are even counting the Friday the 13th game, then he has been shown lifting a car, but his sheer brute strength is not the only aspect of the character that makes him utterly terrifying. His pain resistance and incredible durability makes him nigh unkillable with any conventional means, and he has endured far more than any regular person should have ever been able to survive. For this part, it's important to differentiate the versions of Jason from before and after he died and was subsequently reanimated. As a regular person, Jason was already far more impervious to pain than most any other human on Earth. When he was a human, as depicted in Friday the 13th's Part 3 and 4, he was attacked repeatedly, such as on one occasion where he was stabbed and slashed by Chris and Tommy. Although he still shows very human reactions, he was able to muscle through these injuries, which would have almost certainly killed anyone else. While something like this could be explained by adrenaline, there are several other occasions which demonstrate that even before becoming undead, Jason was an absolute force to be reckoned with physically. He has been hanged without suffering so much as a minor inconvenience, and this is in addition to taking an axe and impalement through the head. No surge of adrenaline on the planet could have allowed him to survive these injuries, which suggests that even before his heinous death, there was already something unnerving and borderline supernatural going on with Jason Voorhees. After dying and coming back, however, Jason came back stronger than ever and with new attributes to dwarf even his previous feats of durability. When Tommy Jarvis stabbed Jason, he did so with a metal rod, and as a result of the subsequent thunderstorm, Jason was struck with a bolt of lightning. This effectively revived him from the dead, but instead of making him into a typical undead zombie, Jason retained his memories and his personality, only with substantially more power to boot. The first demonstration of his newfound power was to punch straight through Tommy's friend's chest without breaking a sweat. He has broken human bodies in half and torn people limb from limb. He's gone through concrete and steel without issue, and now has even more pain resistance than ever. As a part of Part 6, Jason no longer ages, nor does he become afflicted with illnesses or ailments, making him effectively immortal to the causes of natural death. Any injuries he does sustain are subject to an incredibly effective regeneration pattern, which can heal injuries and even regrow entire limbs with ease. He has used this power to withstand stab wounds and gunshots without worry, as Jason can always return to perfect health even when chained to the bottom of Crystal Lake. While this healing and regeneration factor is impressive, it's not entirely perfect, and it does show limits, as it didn't heal his protruding bones and injuries caused from before his revival. But any new injuries will return him to this current state of quote-unquote perfection. What's interesting to note here, however, is that while this regeneration and undead physiology makes him immune to all diseases and natural ailments, he can be sedated. Jason is a man without weakness. It's one of the fundamental traits that makes him so dangerous. This ability to sedate Jason, however, as seen when Freddy possesses Freeburg, seems to be one small crack in this otherwise impervious armor. Freddy was able to take 2 syringes and inject Jason with both simultaneously, which caused Jason to temporarily pass out. Right now, this seems to be the most effective weakness against the immortal Son of Death, and if anyone was able to discover what was in those 2 vials, they might be able to recreate the circumstances that took him out of commission. From here, it might be as simple as injecting Jason with IV and this mysterious compound in order to keep him permanently comatose. It wouldn't be death, but we already know that even death cannot stop Jason, so this might be the next best option. We do know that at the end of part 6, Jason was kept in a sort of suspended animation, proving that even the universe of Friday the 13th agrees that Jason is immune to even death. Outright killing Jason, though, is nigh impossible, as Jason still has superhuman qualities that we haven't discussed yet. While his speed is often hard to quantify, it has often been confused for literal teleportation. When this is paired with his incredible tracking skills, it makes his prey all but unable to escape his sights. Whoever he deems worthy of death can effectively do nothing, and even if Jason doesn't personally execute his victims, he is a crafty engineer capable of constructing heinous traps. While he does not speak, he is incredibly intelligent in several respects, and one of his most impressive skills is his tactical mind. Even as far back as part 2, we've seen him set traps and use stealth to avoid detection, and it's hinted at that his sense of location is immaculate. He is almost perfect at navigating even spaces that he's never seen before, and he can seemingly always make his way back to Crystal Lake no matter the obstacles or how far he goes. Jason can also mold anything into a weapon, not that he even needs them. When he's not ripping heads clean off their bodies, he's using any sort of loose metal or wood at his disposal to gruesomely murder anyone who wanders into the forbidden campground. In truth, Jason is way more powerful than many realize. This series of incomprehensible and unquantifiable strengths have made Jason into one of the most formidable and terrifying killers in all of horror, and his affinity to evade death is what the character is famous for. But anyway, my friends, what do you think of the many powers of Jason Voorhees and his ridiculous levels of speed and strength, not to mention his tactical mind for hunting prey, something that many seem to miss? Do you believe that Jason can ever truly be stopped or ever truly killed, as she's shown to literally march his way out of hell after his physical demise? Is Jason an eternal, restless, ravenous spirit, hell-bent on the death and destruction of those who have wronged him? Is the closest thing to death to Jason this state of sedation, or is there another solution that might be able to end the ever-great Jason Voorhees? Thank you so much for visiting the channel today, my friends. Let us know if you would like us to power scale other horror characters, and I hope you're having a great day.